All right, I'm here today to talk about Mr. Moellering, a great influence in my life. He did a lot, taught me the game of baseball and football. He was a really fun dude to hang out with and conversate. You could definitely tell him a lot of things, and he never took anything to heart or personal. He was a good listener, and I loved him a lot. And I wanted to thank Mr. Moellering for everything he's done for me.
Yo, my name is Dario Hutton. Mr. Moellering, I know him as Mr. Moellering, was and will always be my all-time favorite baseball coach. You made the game fun for me. You taught me a lot. You made the game fun for me and my friends. You taught us a lot without ever yelling at us, without ever, being too harsh on us. You made winning fun, you made losing fun, you made learning fun in the classroom and on the field. I always remember you for that. I miss you. And a lot of the lessons that you taught me, I'll pass on to my family, to my kids when I decide to have them. I just want to say thank you. You will forever be in my heart, in my spirit, and love you.
Next. My name is Coach Mitch Molotnik. I was the wrestling coach here at Willard. We took the league championship in '98, and Tim Moellering believed in me, I think, when nobody else would. Came up here and won 2 league championships in a row. Even when we didn't have enough people or rides to get to tournaments, he always seemed to find a way to get everybody there on time. It was a, good time. Great to know him. I'm kind of at a loss for words. Just want to say that I saw Tim at the Solano Stroll in September. We had a chat, shook hands, and it was the last time I saw him. He will be missed, and nobody will ever match his legacy ever in the city of Berkeley. Thanks.
Thank you. My name is Phil Catalfo, and all 3 of my children went to school here at Willard and Berkeley High, but we knew Tim mainly from Willard. My children are Jessamine, Gabe, and Peter Catalfo. And Gabe and Pete both played on teams that Tim coached here at Willard. And Gabe passed away a year or 2 after he left, after he graduated from Willard. And the following year, Tim Moellering and one of Gabe's teammates, Paco Flores, inducted Gabe into the Willard Sports Hall of Fame, the first inductee into the Sports Hall of Fame, which I hear from others was one of the things that Tim wanted to get going and finally did get going. And I told some of the people here at Willard the day we found out that Tim had passed that they needed to put up another jersey in the gym here at Willard in honor of Tim and induct him into the Willard Sports Hall of Fame too. But I also want to say that I'm someone who has also been involved in youth sports here in Berkeley for many years, as a coach, as a parent, as a program administrator, and as a referee and umpire. And one of the things among the many things that I cherish about Tim, apart from the many good things that he did for my family and for my kids, was the way he modeled sporting behavior for the players, the athletes that he coached. As an official, as an on-the-field official, I worked with many coaches and many players and many parents. And I know how difficult it can be sometimes to model truly sporting behavior. And that's something that I really appreciated about Tim. He was a very fierce competitor, as many others have said today at his memorial service. He was a very capable and intellectual and clever coach and strategist. But he also knew that the most important thing was to be a good person and to have fun. And that it was, after all, a game. And that you had to enjoy yourself and enjoy the camaraderie and enjoy even what your opponents brought out in you. And I never saw him utter a cross word or a curse word or belittle an opponent. And that's something that we see too little of, I think, in sports at all levels, youth sports all the way up to professional sports. So I want to say that out loud and in the fervent hope that more of us as parents, as coaches, as spectators can learn to model that for particularly our young, our children and our young athletes because it's something that our culture would really benefit from. Anyway, thank you, Tim, for everything that you did for so many years for our kids and our community.
Okay, Tim. Our sons Galen and Nico had Tim as a coach, as a teacher, as a mentor, as a neighbor, and as a friend. And Tim will always be a big part of how our kids learned about baseball and about history and about life.
And I want to say for Tim, go Bears! And Tim was an amazing guy, and I went to a few parties at his house, so life is good. He made me a mixtape, a mix CD for my 60th birthday, and it was in October, right before he passed, about 2 months before he passed, and it really had a lot of where he was at that time, and I'm just so grateful for him. So take care.
We love you, Tim.
Thank you. All right, so I've got a whole bunch of memories of Tim. Yelling, wait till next year and the first ball of the baseball season. But the one that sticks out the most for me is when we played on this semi-pro baseball team together. Snoopy's Cron 4, we had the worst uniforms ever because those were the only two people that would sponsor us. And we drove up to Fairfield or something like that for a baseball game. And we played the game, and we get in his old car. What was that, a Citroen? Looked like an old World War II ship. And we make a left turn, and we get right in the middle of the Friday night drag scene. And all these people are standing around, and we're crawling along, and everybody's just pointing at his car and making fun of him, just laughing. And Tim yells out the window, "This car is better than all the pieces of shit you guys have." And right then the car broke down, and we all had to get out in our Snoopy's Cron 4 uniforms and push the car and just hear the jeers. We just had to wear it. So one of my best memories of Tim.
All right. So my name's David, and I want to share a couple of memories of Tim. And one is that in 1991, when the big Oakland Hills fire happened, I lived in Montclair, and I was evacuated. And Tim ended up taking me in for those